Am I live? Am I live? Testing, one, two, three, testing. What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to get you guys a few things. I just want to say hi and how's it going? And it's been a while since I went live in here, and I just want to acknowledge everybody's posts that they're doing and comments and cheering everybody on, and share with you a few very exciting things, including the fact that we have another challenge happening. It starts on Tuesday of next week. Why Tuesday, you ask? Well, because in the States, Monday is a no school day. And not only that, but the Monday after Monday is another no school day. So it's just easier for me to not have a bunch of things on my calendar, and I already have one thing that's very important to me on my calendar for Monday. So, ta-da! Okay, couple things. Housekeeping. This is so cool because I pinned a comment to show up every time I go live, and I did it accidentally. And I have been wondering for weeks why, when I go live, there was an old pinned comment there. I'm like, this is driving me bananas. And so I kept having to go into the lives and delete the comment because it was obsolete. And I looked into it last night and I couldn't figure it out. And I looked into it again and I couldn't figure it out. And isn't that the whole thing of say yes and figure it out? You don't stop once you hit a roadblock. You just decide you're going to keep going, and you take another step and you lean in and you celebrate even when it's a roadblock. You're like, okay, I'm celebrating the fact that I tried this thing and it didn't get me the result I wanted. So yeah, just now I figured it out. And I'm celebrating because I went to go live and I was like, oh yeah, there's a pinned comment. Okay, Kristen, you can figure it out. Take a step. I took a step. I saw where I might be headed with it. I leaned in, and then I was like, oh, this is it. And instead of deleting the pinned deleting pinned comments entirely, I decided what my new pinned comment was going to be. So check it out. It says, results begin in the mind, and this positive prime is the daily mental conditioning tool I use to sharpen confidence and my focus and reinforce my identity level growth. Isn't that crazy? So I've been using this app or website tool, Positive Prime, for 22 days straight now. So I only found out about it 23 days ago, and I've been using it for 22 days, and it's working in crazy ways. Oh my gosh, I just had this brilliant idea. Oh my gosh, I have to tell Karen something. I just had this crazy idea. But hold on. Let me write this down. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, and it's working so much that I went to the grocery store just now and I was like, my posture was a little bit taller. And I was like, you're not going to get distracted by these junk food snacks that you often get distracted for. Hello, bag of Oreos, because you're on a mission. And that's okay. Yes, I eat a bunch of junk food, and with my kids, we eat out a lot, and we're kind of still in a season of life like that. But I can choose healthier snacks, right? I don't have to go down a rabbit hole. And anyway, I noticed myself observing myself not choosing things, and oh, I'm in the ice cream aisle. I'm not going to look away from the ice cream. I'm just not simply tempted by the ice cream. I have to give it to you. That is one example of hundreds that this Positive Prime app is working for me. And so anyway, that's now the pinned comment. But drum roll, please. Did you know that did you know you can subscribe to this calendar I have on Add Event to be notified of all of my events. So I'm going to say subscribe. To be notified of my events. The funny thing is, like, if a few more people subscribe, I'm going to have to pay for Ad Event. It's like, I don't want to pay for Ad Event. But I will if that's useful for you. The other place you can go to find where my events are is in the school group. So I'm going to give you the link to that now. You could join as a member. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. I don't know why calendar of events is also here. I don't know why Facebook doesn't have like an easier way to absorb events, like show you actually what's happening. But I've learned to outsmart the tech and like on purpose diversify where I am, just in case something were to ever happen, I don't lose everything. I mean, I would love for all 200 of you to go into school and also be part of my community there. In fact, in the school group that I just linked are all of my courses. Most of them come with, well, all of my courses come with the identity program. Ooh, I should make you guys a special offer. And otherwise you can buy the stuff ad hoc. Okay, who wants a special offer? Remind me about the special offer at the end of this, if I remember. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about specifically this event that we're doing starting on Tuesday, which is get booked on stages. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everybody here is probably a coach, consultant, course creator, leader, executive, business owner of sorts. And therefore, I am going to argue you need this challenge. Because what people don't always realize is that, where did my comments go? Okay. What people don't always realize is that it takes months usually to get booked on stages. So you need to apply the strategy, do the tactics, and then follow up with people. In fact, there's whole platforms and CRMs dedicated to helping people keep track of getting on stages. I'm not recommending any of those tools. I just know that there are workflow tools that exist. I would say don't chase the shiny object, right, at this point, but you can use the strategies I know and I'm going to teach in order to get booked on stages. And because here's the thing, podcasts and keynotes, you're like, hey, what's your process for bringing guests onto your show? Okay, that's for podcasts. And then you have to wait for people to respond. And then sometimes you have to get on like a pre-call with them, which is always like a waste of time. But that's fine. If that's what your process is, that's what your process is. And then we have to schedule the podcast, and then everyone has to show up to the podcast, and then you have to wait for the podcast to be released. So it's like a multi-step process, and the bigger the podcast, I'm sorry, the longer you're waiting. All right? So we sometimes think, oh, I want to share my expertise, or I'll share my expertise when I'm ready. So I'll tell you, you should start sharing your expertise now, say yes and figure it out style. And especially if you're releasing a book, you need to start yesterday looking for podcasts because of the timeline, regardless of when your book is launching, because you can't control other people's production schedules. Or like Gibson was sick. He got like sent home on Monday, I think it was this week, at 2 minutes before I was supposed to record a podcast, so we didn't get to record it. I mean, that's a fluke and that's horrible. But the irony in that is the podcast had already been rescheduled from the hosts once before. I'm like, it's all good. These are real life extraneous circumstances. Keynotes is a different thing, but people in February are booking keynotes for April, May, June. They're not booking keynotes for February. They already have their February keynotes. So again, it's knowing that, and it's knowing how to find the opportunities, and then sending the right message and having the right conversation to get on stages. Okay, so that's one of my skill sets that I'm planning to teach for free in February. And to get invited to all of the things, you got to register for this event, getting booked on stages. Another thing that's like really on my heart right now is my second ever in-person event. First of this year. I'm only going to probably do one more this year, in fact, because as part of my identity program, I've committed to doing 4 events, 2 in person, 2 virtually. And there's so much power of being in a physical room. But I want to honor where a lot of my clients are with, timeline and money restrictions. So the future, I don't know what's to come, but I know that right now we're doing an event. So if you think about 4 events a year, in my corporate brain, that's each quarter, 1 event each quarter. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. January, February, March 4th and 5th, Q1 is my event number 1 for the year. Second in-person event ever. The first one was wildly effective with 2.5 people in the room. Because Lynn came for the second day. Then I will probably in Q2 do virtual. And then in my head, either Q3 or Q4, one of those will naturally be virtual and one will be in person. It will just depend. All right. So like you want to be here. And here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. What I'm doing for this March 4th and 5th event is I'm saying anybody can come. It's only $500 for both days. My clients get it for free. They get a code. It's only $500 for both days. Isn't that wild? It is only $500 for both days. And you will, without a doubt, leave with at least one, if not several, ways to make more than $25,000 in your business. But the event is not a bunch of speakers. It's literally an implementation event where my magic sauce, why people say, yes, Kristen, I want to be coached by you, is because of my 20-year corporate sales background and my ability to help entrepreneurs, small business owners, founders, corporations, all the things, my ability to help make more sales at higher profit margins, right? I mean, more sales, make more money. I used to run around saying, I help people make more money. That's based on all of my sales and marketing background. That's also based on 3 years of being an entrepreneur now. And what are the systems? What are the frameworks? How do you sell one-to-one? How do you sell one-to-many? What does that look like? How do I meet you where you are to give you the skills, the strategies, the tactics to go faster and to implement? Because a lot of times, I'll never forget, in July of 2025, maybe it was 24, but I think 25, I went to an event. I took down all these notes, and then I got home, and I am the queen of notes. Like, I love notes. Like, notes are a good thing for me. I got home, and I was so overwhelmed by the amount of notes I had. I got up from my desk, I went on a walk, and for the first time ever, when I came back for the walk, I tore up my to-do list. Because it's not about working. It's literally about, like, what's that one idea to move the needle 1% to have the most explosive growth? That's the point. But also the point is, when you're in a container like we're creating on March 4th and 5th, it's go time. It's work. I'm not telling you, or the couple speakers we do have aren't going to say, go home and do this. No, we're actually pausing and doing it now. It'll be wild. It's going to be so fun. And it's going to match who's in the room. So I've learned from another one of my mentors a couple things. One, so we need reservations to come in. We can hold up to 40, but right now I think there's about 8. I'd have to go look, and that's fine. Like, less is more. Okay, so if you really want to be in the room, it's a killer ROI, but I don't need to force or twist anyone's arm because I get to serve the people in the room, and the people in the room get to have that much more meaningful relationships with the people in the room. So this is not begging or pleading you to come to Long Beach March 4th and 5th. No, this is like a real value moving implementation style workshop. If it's meant for you, you'll know. Okay? And that means you'll fit with the group of 8 to 10 of us. And then I have asked a couple of my clients to speak because I know what their topics are, and their topics benefit the room. In fact, we meet every other week within Identity, and not only do they get these 4 events free, but while knowing and helping people extract their zone of genius and monetize for more and stack their offers the right way, and I'm able to be like, yo, Adrian, can you do this one thing at the workshop? And he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, Lynn, can you do this thing on top of that? Because this is what she's saying. She's like, yeah. I'm like, Dr. K, can you do this thing? She's like, yeah. Anna, can you do this thing? She's like, yeah. So it goes on and on and on, right? So it's going to be so amazing, but you got to be there. You need to be there. Okay. If you need to be there, you need to be there. Let me just say that. So that's why I wanted to come on, was to just catch up, tell you what's going on, share a few links, let you guys know I'm excited to serve you. And most importantly, next week, like I said, on Tuesday, we are kicking off at 9 a.m. Pacific, February 10th, the Get Booked on Stages party. So you are going to want to be there. Okay? All right. Much love to you all. Oh, I know what I did. Okay. Much love to you all. I will see you soon.